Hey there, comic friends. I'm Travis.
I'm still the disembodied voice.
And this is...
No Capes.
And we're going to be talking books week of...
August 3rd.
August 3rd, 2016. Not to be confused with a year ago when you may have been watching this. First up, Discipline.
And...
Issue number 6. I know you got lots to talk about with it.
Oh, yeah. I don't like this book. I like it less and less.
So why do you keep reading it?
I don't know. Because
you read everything.
I'm committed. And yes, I do. I read the little liners in the fast food trays. It's pathetic. I do read everything. If it's in front of me and it has words on it, I will read it.
I read it for the pictures. I don't even like all those. I really like the art. I really like the art. As we say every time we talk about this book, what little we're going to talk about it, like the art. It's really problematic with its kind of rapey-esque 50 Shades of Grey, wrongful showing of S&M, and basically creating these gratuitous, violent sexual situations because that's how these people, change and become these other creatures and stuff, and it's just kind of.
Yeah. I think sexual manipulation is definitely what happens the most in that.
Yeah, just a big old hot mess that we don't even talk about anymore than that. So, on to other books.
Yay!
Animosity! Animosity, right?
Yeah.
Animosity, issue number 1. This is Aftershocks comic. This is the new Marguerite Bennett book. Rafael de la Torre is doing art. Rod Schwager on colors, and Marshall Dillon, I'm believing, is the letterer. So, premise of the book, just all of a sudden imagine if one day, all of a sudden, bang, just like that, every animal on the planet could talk the language, could talk the King's English like everybody else, and had their own thoughts and feelings about everything.
Achieved consciousness.
Yeah, not I wanted to say sentience, but I mean they basically have a large level of the exact same sorts of personalities and stuff as humans do.
Yeah,
and
the ability to communicate what they may or may not have always been feeling.
Right. So basically what this book tells you is you better be treating all your animals really, really nice.
Holy crap, why did the birds hate us so much? What did we do to them?
No kidding. So anyway, the book starts out with this great 12-panel double-page spreads.
Good.
Well, actually, it starts out in a veterinarian's office. Starts out in a veterinarian's office where a rat catcher's going to go catch some rats in a vet in an adoption place. He goes to catch the rats. The rats come swarming out and start attacking him, screaming, "Die bastard, die bastard, die bastard." And then we get this page of info where it basically talks about how many there is of everything on the planet. You get a piece from Genesis first. World was created for man. Lo, behold, blah blah blah.
Well, they forgot to tell the animals that.
Yeah, right.
Pretty pissed.
So then we get this whole thing. Yesterday God was in His heaven. Yesterday, God was in His heaven. The average American consumed 38 pounds of meat per year, and there were roughly 20 quintillion, 121 billion, 91 million animals on planet Earth. And then it goes on to breaking that down to how many of each kind of species there are, and then the 10 quintillion insects there are. And the fact there's only
insects with consciousness is a little.
And there's only X number of humans. Humans only rank in the billions as opposed to how much there's of everything else. At any rate, blah, and so, lo and behold, boom! Everybody gets a consciousness, and so you get these pages, and
they are
4, 8. So it's
6. It's 12 total. 6 per page, right?
Yeah, so it's a 12-page little spread. So you get this stuff where you see these scenes starting out, dog being put down, a cow being basically euthanized for meat, polar bear getting ready to seal, an iguana in the background at some place, rooster being a rooster, SeaWorld, all that kind of stuff. Just all these different things. A man and woman sleeping, a cat sleeping there, sloths, deer walking across this overpass, panda bear chewing on some bamboo with guards walking around, a hamster eating its young, pretty typical crap, right? And a girl playing with her dog. And then the next page, and this one says, in the middle of it says, "Oh." And then the next one, things start to go crazy in it, and it says, "Holy And the dog right down here is saying, Jess. And then the last one says, fuck. And then, of course, people, all the craziness happened there. You know, the cow saying, please, you don't have to do this. The polar bear going, oh my God, what have I done? You know, the iguana telling the guy that was working on the laptop that he's being cheated on. All the hens attack the rooster and are screaming, no more roosters, as they mutilate it. The killer whale in SeaWorld is saying, Jessica, I can't ignore my feelings any longer. You complete me. The cat threatens to scratch out the guy's eyes if he ever beats his wife, girlfriend again. And of course the sloths are just, God damn it, because they're going super slow. The deer are screaming, kill them all, as this massive, car crash. The pandas are killing each other. They're committing suicide. Why did you keep us alive so long? And then the other baby hamsters are screaming, run, run. She's evil. And the dog is once again the basset hound, bloodhound, not basset hound, bloodhound.
Whatever kind of hound.
Bloodhound is saying, I love you, Jessie, honey. I love you. And then it goes nuts. This wonderful, sweet scene here of her saying, I love you too. She didn't even skip a beat. That her dog just said, I love you. I love you too, Sandor. And then everything goes crazy. She's trying to tell her mom the dog talk. She's like, yeah, right, honey. And then Dad comes running in, oh my God. The birds, everything's going crazy. The birds come flying in to kill. Anyway, there's all kinds of craziness in here. Most of the animals are out to get people. Clearly this dog has been well loved and loves his girl, so he protects her from that. You get lots of other stuff here. There's a little wink and a nod to Tokyo Ghost, because it is Tokyo Ghost sushi. And Marguerite Bennett did say that is literally a wink to her friend Sean, because Sean Murphy and her are good buds. But all kinds of stuff. The horse kicks the cop because all the horrible stuff that the cop has made him sing.
Can't blame him.
Yeah, right.
And I like the bird telling her mate that she felt pressured to lay the eggs.
To lay the eggs.
Children.
That she's done. She's leaving. Kind of thing. Birds attack. They go flying, smash through a window. Jess and Sandoval, the dog, they get into a confrontation with a tiger, who has just eaten her master because her master sold her cub on the black market. So she thinks all humans are evil. The dog's like, I'm not having them do it. You're not coming after my human. And the cat's like, you're just confused. This really isn't your cub. This isn't your pup. All humans are evil. Let's take her out. He manages to somehow get a sword tangled between them and kills the tiger. Anyway, the dog is pretty depressed out of the whole thing and whatnot, but it ends with with her saying, I've got you, Sentinel. This whole horrible thing's happening. He goes, yes, you do. You always have me. I'm truly yours. I'll always be yours. Right? And that's how it ends.
Yeah.
Well, so what you think?
I really like this book. I want to see what happens next. Did you like it?
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. So next issue actually jumps forward like 5 or 6 years.
Well, look at the cover. The cover definitely appears to be Sandor and the girl.
Well, Jess. Yeah.
Jess against the world.
So what it is this like 5 years have passed. The dog is gonna die.
Oh,
he's old. He's old.
I know.
He's in old age. Dogs don't last as long. He's in old age. The world has been in total chaos this entire time, because you figure animals are all violently rah. So there's all this chaos going on, and Jess has an older brother, and she's still a girl. I mean, she's older, but she's still a girl, and probably won't make it on her own. So he wants
probably
to
like about 12.
So he wants to get her to family. And the family live on the other side of the United States.
Oh.
So it is going to be him trying to get his girl to a safe place before he's gone. So he kind of takes on the kind of father role, this dog does, of them going across this craziness.
Wow. Well, I really like it.
That's my understanding of what the story is going to be.
And I love just all the things the animals said to the people.
Right. And I'll be curious to see what we get going on forward here. But it'll be interesting to see how well it's written, that jump. We're going to make that kind of a jump in time.
Right.
To make us adjust to what's there. But yeah, no, cool. I think it's like 5 issues, 5 or 6 issues is all it's going to be.
Oh, well, it's really enjoyable.
But yeah, it was pretty cool. Pretty cool stuff. I think Margaret Bennett's got some cool ideas.
She does. I read the preview, right? And that ends with the dog saying, Jess, I really love you.
Right.
And I read it all again and looked at all of the art again, because it was just so good I didn't want to miss it again.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
Cool. So next up is Killer Be Killed, issue number 1. the new series by Ed Brubaker and Sean Phillips with Elizabeth Brewster doing colors on it. Of course, last thing they did was the Fade Out. Universally loved by anybody with taste.
That and Femme Fatale, those are the two things I've read.
So here we get this kind of oversized issue number 1. It has some of the same format that the others did, and then you get a kind of a story in the back, kind of a info dump on something. In this case, it was Charles Bronson and what's that movie?
I can't remember because I didn't. Has
The Vigilante movie. I can't remember what it was, but So our premise here is we get this kind of typical 20s, somewhat loser dude who, through a lot of events that have made him think his life's miserable, attempts to kill himself, somehow manages to survive a 6-story fall without killing himself, and then finds out that he's kind of indebted to some demon-y monster thing he thinks that is telling him he needs to kill one person a month to pay back his debt.
And at first he doesn't believe it, but then at the end of the first month he gets really, really, really sick.
Right. Like, puke everything up violently, need to go to the hospital, kind of sick. There's more to it than that. There's
a
also
lot
other
more.
stuff.
There's the whole
But what do you think? What do you think of the what do you think of the
relationship
story premise? That story premise.
I think it's interesting. It's definitely different than anything they've had so far.
Right.
Not as slow of a start, because you have
because it starts out with him.
It starts out exposition.
Yeah, the story starts out with him actually killing a few people, and then him kind of going, well, I need to go back to the beginning of the story, and he starts to tell the story and go, no, that's not really the beginning. Here's really, really the beginning. You get back quite a ways to get the real beginning of where he thinks it all started, where he's at.
I will say that this is not my favorite premise in the whole world. That kill something.
The more I think about it, there's two things for me. The more I think about it, Sleep Reader kind of brought up the fact that it's kind of a dumb premise that he's doing this because there's some I don't know. Is it? Yeah, it's silly, right?
Yeah, it is kind of. But I love these authors, and so
we're supposed to take these creators. Yeah, we're supposed to take it serious, but it's hard to take that premise serious.
Yes.
I love the characterization in it. Just the whole build-up as to why his life sucks.
Yeah, and the girl that he cares
well,
about,
all that stuff, right? Well, typical. Your best friend happens to be the opposite sex, and she falls in love with your roommate, and then there's this whole potential love confession. Maybe not. Maybe she just feels sorry for you. It's all awful. It's all awful stuff. I even appreciate the fact when he's going to throw himself off the building. That second where enough of your weight is going off the building, you can't take it back, and you realize, shit. As much as my life sucks, I'm actually, the one thing I'm good at is staying alive. So this really sucks. I don't want to do this,
Remember that we watched that documentary about people who had jumped off the
Golden Gate Bridge.
The Golden Gate Bridge and survived, and almost every single one of them who had jumped and survived, there weren't very many, said that the second they left the bridge, they realized they didn't want to be dead.
Right.
So I think that's interesting, and it makes me wonder about people who jump and die.
So at any rate, love the artwork, love the coloring, of course. I trust these creators to do cool stuff. But, yeah, the premise itself is okay. And I also wonder about the whole... Because, the climate that at least in America is in right now, with the level of gun violence that seems to be... there's more gun violence now than there ever was, or it's just even more...
Very much in the public eye.
Right. Even more so. And to have this guy wiping people out and... His rationale for doing that is because there's a demon telling him to do it? Is he crazy?
And also because they're bad people.
And they're
bad people.
Right. So.
But how does he get to decide who the bad?
But we're gonna find that out. Clearly, that's part of the story. We're gonna figure out.
Some sort of, and yes, he might be crazy. It's going to be interesting because I know these guys have something in mind, and so I'm willing to go along with them on the ride.
I hope so.
And if there really is just that it's a demon, then I'll just enjoy the art and still read the story.
Right, but I don't know. It's kind of a, and they definitely hid that part when they're talking about his book. But I'm just curious. I'm curious about. I don't know. It's like I said, the current climate. It almost seems a cop out.
Yeah,
it almost seems a cop out. It almost seems a cop out to it's a supernatural force that's making him do it. Yeah. So I don't know. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. I'm not riveted to this like I was Fatale immediately.
Oh, absolutely.
And the Fade Out, quite frankly,
Exactly.
even though the Fade Out was very conventional. you know,
Yeah, but it
as
was
far as
really
being a noir.
enjoyable.
But I was immediately engaged. And this, like I said, I laughed my ass off and kind of went ugh, not in a bad but it's an ugh about the way the guy's life is kind of
Right, his life is so
spinning out of control
typically unhappy
and getting away from it and whatnot. I mean, that characterization, Brubaker nails down. But yeah.
Yeah, but then demon, that part is, I have a problem with that too.
Yeah. Yeah. So, Trees, issue number 14. Wow, when was the last issue of Trees?
I don't remember, and so I don't have. I'm glad it's back, but I feel kind of detached from the story in a way because I don't really remember. I mean, obviously the same purchased mayor is there, and
Yeah.
and the researcher was looking for the flowers, and
But, the whole story was forward, but this issue seems, okay, right?
Until the end.
But the reason it seems, okay, is because it was been
Forever.
March. It's been, I don't think an issue came out after Emerald City Comic Con. So it being that long, this is the middle of the story, or towards the, it's not like it was like this is a new arc where you'd think if this was the beginning of a new arc, you'd have some oomph in it.
Right.
It just continued on. Still brilliant artwork. I still think the story is interesting. I think it's really fascinating that we retouch on one of the survivors from the city in China. Because I figured that whole place was just nuked, razed, and everybody was dead. So that's cool because man, that part of that story, that first arc to me was
the best.
Yeah.
That's part of it. Me too.
Yeah, which of course but it had like zero to do with the rest of the stuff. So we get touched back on that. Clearly we get an update. The woman who's up in Scotland who's been tasked with trying to find the flowers. They do find one. She tries to talk the government down. The government's kind of like, okay, but we're going to be watching anyway. There's like 1,000 drones up there now.
So many.
They're getting ready to just raise the whole place because they figure that's going to be the safest thing to do because if these black flowers build up, then you get that energy burst that just is beyond bad. So.
Yeah. The last pages of the kind of, he's douchey, that guy. The New York guy.
Oh, yeah.
He's such a douche.
Well, he clearly is. He wipes everybody out.
Yeah.
The people the kind of underground people that helped him get where he was, he raises them all. He gets them all killed.
Exactly.
Killed off.
And then he's out there douchily vaping. Nothing against people who vape. It feels like they put it in there almost in a way because some people really resent the hipster vaping. So he's out there vaping, and what does he see?
Yeah. One of the black poppies.
And he sees it and he's like, huh.
That looks weird. Goes on buzzing. I still really like the book. I'm just saying that this issue, because of the big break and stuff, and it's starting out the way it didn't have maybe the level of impact that it would have. Because it starts out with basically the mayor getting rid of all the people, all the underground people that helped him weasel his way into becoming the new mayor. Most of those people get executed very, very violently in this issue, and it would have had more impact if we had just read the last issue where he just basically said, "Hey guys, thanks for helping me do all this stuff," and then then he wrecks them all. So you really understand just how bad that dude is.
How evil he is.
So yeah, anyway, I still really like it. Good stuff.
Yeah.
Still want to own art from that book too. So. David Lantham, Stray Bullets, Sunshine and Roses, issue number 17. This was an interesting issue.
Yeah, it's kind of a one-of kind of background of somebody.
Right. Who you read the whole, at least I did anyway, read the whole book going, well, this is funny. This person's as messed up as most of the other people in the Stray Bullets world.
But what are we going to...
But what...
How do we relate to that?
Well, how does it relate to something else? You keep waiting for the tie-in, the link, and there isn't one.
Until the very end.
Well, even at the very end. That's the solicitation for the next issue.
That's true.
That suddenly shows that this is Beth's mom.
Yep.
But now we know kind of why Beth's the train wreck that she is.
No kidding.
Because this woman is messed up.
She is.
I mean, she's surrounded by other people who are messed up, but then she takes all of their messed up and makes a much bigger messed up of it.
Yes, true.
Kind of a thing. Somebody who's obsessed with her age or not wanting to be her age,
wanting to be young,
and have the bling, of looking rich and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, definitely one of those people that's sex is a tool to get me my bathroom remodeled and all that kind of stuff and whatnot.
Exactly.
And she's hiding all of these secrets and but I loved it. It was really good.
Oh yeah.
As it always is. Straight bullets.
Was
just
really
this.
Good. The drunken confession scene between the two friends.
The
was
drunk
awesome.
and high.
Yes.
That was nuts. As they're both confessing to all of this crap.
And then they're pretending the next day that none of them can remember. That either of them can remember anything.
Right, because they're smoking pot. They're whacked out on 1979 version of diet pills, which of course are pure pure meth. We know that.
Yep.
And drinking.
Speed, alcohol, and marijuana.
Yeah, and they're just just going nuts, and it was great. Them just yammering about everything that they had done and whatnot. Yeah,
Yep.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Paper Girls issue number 8. Speaking of good stuff.
Oh, so good. I'm kind of disheartened though.
Oh.
At the very end, with the hockey stick.
Oh no, I love that. I love that because there's 3 of them walking around.
Which one?
There's 3 of them walking around.
And
So
she's gonna think it means the adult one, and maybe it means the other kid one.
Sure. So anyway, our paper girls from 1980 whatever are stuck in 2016, and Aaron, adult Aaron and paper girl Aaron are at a abandoned strip mall because their piece of Apple tech is telling them they need to go there. And they find the hockey stick. It's hung up in the ceiling, but it's not in the ceiling. It's just suspended in the air. It's like it's stuck through into another dimension kind of thing. And they pull it out and it has a message on it. Also, meanwhile, our 2 other paper girls that we know where they're at. Of course, the last issue, our tough and tumble paper girl, one that smokes. She has discovered that she's going to die of leukemia in just a couple of years.
She takes it she appears right now.
Oh, she's doing the tough kid things, like
whatever. Yeah, that's an eternity.
I've got a few good. I'm only whatever now. Heck, 4 years. That's a lifetime for now. I'm gonna party it up while I can, whatever kind of thing. And her friend that's with her. There's some really great characterization written in this. I think it's smart writing in the fact that. Because we don't know a lot about these girls outside of just what little we've seen here.
Right.
To build them up and give them more dimensions, to give you an idea of what they might be like, what their lives might have been like if they were living their normal lives or whatever. This girl suggests that we go and see. Well, it's your turn. Let's go check out your what your modern self is doing. And she's like, there's no point, because if my modern self is still living in this town, my parents would have killed me if I'm not like teaching at MIT or something else. So clearly that instantly gives you, her just making that statement instantly gives you more of a background on her and what her home environment is like.
Right, what her family's expectations of her are.
Right. So that adds to the character. That so somebody who has to be the overachiever. But brilliant.
To do it. Yeah.
But it's just a great way without having to do flashback or anything silly like that, which of course in this book would be totally nuts because when you start doing time travel, you can't do flashbacks, so that just screws things up. You got that all going on, and of course we have this other Erin that's got a energy pack on her back and she has blasters or something.
Teen Erin 2.0.
Right, running around, and they all end up at the mall. Of course, this girl has decided that she's got this all figured out. She knows that she can't die until X number of years in the future. So she literally throws herself inside of a giant maggot that's eating out of a garbage dumpster. When I say giant, the maggot's bigger than the garbage dumpster.
Yes, it's very, very good.
And she's like trying to chase it off and whatnot. And the other girl's like, "Are you crazy?" She's like,
"What's wrong with you?"
She's like, "I'm not worried. I'm not going to die, right? Because I'm going to die in the future." She's got the whole.
She knows when she's going to die.
She's got the whole future thing figured out. So.
Yeah. And how many thousands of years into the future does future Erin say she's taking them? That's where they're going to be safe?
I don't know. I don't remember.
8,000 or something?
Yeah, some
ridiculously.
But she also, but she's riding in an Uber car.
I know.
And she's having this conversation about the fact that all this crazy stuff that's going on right now, because they see these two monsters fighting and stuff.
Your memories are going to be
It's all going to be wiped. So if you ever wanted to confess anything or do anything or whatever,
tell anybody you love them.
it's not just your memory.
Yeah.
That whole reality, it's gonna be
yeah.
gone. It'll have never happened. So you might as well go do it. Of course, this lady doesn't know what the hell she's talking about. She's just some crazy kid in the back of the car while other nutsy stuff's going on. So, yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, I really
It's a
like
cool
it.
comic. It's for those Netflickers out there. It's kind of, it's very strange things for girls. I mean, really for girls.
Yeah.
Right. Instead of the band of brothers being guys, it's kind of
Right, and instead of an L, they have a future Aaron and a current future Aaron.
So I don't know. I mean, it's just cool. It's cool, and the end,
really
it's gonna be just really puts a crinkle in everything as far as God, who's the bad guy now, and does that really mean they're a bad guy?
I know, it's hard to know.
Right. So good stuff. And on to happier books. Let's talk Low, issue number 15.
No. This. I think after I read this, I looked at Travis and I said, Rick Remender is why we can't have nice things.
Exactly. It is. Yeah. So.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So pretty much the whole book is we're back on the planet. We're surface side. Of course, our main character, she is suffering massive organ failure because she has been so hit with radiation. And they're so close to the probe. The probe is being housed by this gnarly, evolved insect people. And they have decided that they're going to rush this thing and they're going to get this probe. It's the last thing she's going to do, kind of a thing. She staggers around on hope. And I mean, brutal stuff happens to them. The pirate gets pretty wrecked. And they manage to get the probe. And then all of a sudden, somebody new, we've never seen before, shows up in one of these big suits like her family has, these big mech suits, and comments on the fact that, oh my gosh, I thought all you humans were gone. Why are you back up on the surface?
Yes.
And then, nope, you can't have this. And bad stuff happens. We won't actually totally spoil it.
Yeah. Thanks, Remender.
Awesome book. I love it. I mean, yes, it's a
I'm not gonna say it's not good.
It's a super big bummer at the end of
But
it.
it is called Low. It's not called High.
Right. Oh, but still just freaking awesome.
Well, you took the title a little too literally, I think.
Yeah, you just thought it was low because it was under the water.
No.
Yeah. Really good stuff. Really rich
Yeah.
book. Really just cool. And in that book, his use of hope, as I keep having conversations with people about, it's not corny, it's not hokey,
No, I know,
it's
it's
not over the top, because it can be talked about in the way it's being talked about it, because it is a philosophy, it is a religion. It's not we gotta have hope. I mean, these are people talking about it.
Definitely not.
These are
singing
people,
tomorrow.
right? These are people talking about it in the same way that devout Christians talk about Christianity, the same way the devout Buddhists talk about Buddhism. It's that kind of a thing, and so it works. It works in this way. It does not come across as corny. If you think it does, I think you're just not getting the idea of what it is. It's not Remender selling corny hope. It's using that as a true, philosophy kind of a thing. So, anyway, anything else you want to say about Low?
No. We have really good books.
Yeah, well, this is an awesome week. This is an awesome week of books. And we're going to do 3 Remender books in a row here. That's great. Tokyo Ghost, issue number 9, the penultimate issue, for those people who like to use the word penultimate.
Okay, you can talk about this one.
The art is really cool. We get a big boss fight in this, and that's pretty much it. Because, really, that's what this really is. You get Danny, basically, Danny Danger, or whatever the heck his name is, basically saying, oh, I'm going to do this horrible thing. I'm going to be the biggest mass murderer because I'm going to kill everyone on the entire planet, all in one bang. But I'm also going to be man's greatest hope because I'm going to suck them all into the Matrix with me, and you're going to be able to live whatever kind of dream you want to live, and that's going to make humanity better. We're going to evolve to the next thing. And to stop him, of course, Debs shows up. She is still able to tap into the last bits of spirits of nature, and she calls upon them to fight off this evil guy and his dastardly plan. And we literally, in the middle of the book, get Danny screaming, "Oh boy, boss fight!" And that's what it is. The pictures are gorgeous and all, but this, other than the only thing this issue really moves forward is him explaining what his ultimate dastardly thing he's going to do is. And that's it. The rest of it just looks really good.
And it really does.
But to be fair and critical of it, other than that, that's all this issue is.
Yep.
And that could have been dropped at the very end of the last issue and left as a cliffhanger, and we could have had one less issue, really,
Sure.
as far as story goes. So,
Sure. So I guess we'll see what happens
Yeah.
in the last issue.
I mean, not that I hate the book, still really liking
It's
it.
awesome.
You know, great stuff, beautiful art.
And I'm sad that Teddy's dead. Well, I am.
Spoilers.
I think we talked about that.
Yeah, we spoil everything. Who are we kidding? Yeah, clearly he is, unless he's reanimated somewhere
Yeah, this was
in the Matrix. So, another Remender book, Black Science, issue number 23. What do you think?
Just a nice continuation of the story of Dad trying to fix the mess that he made with the pillar. And
Right.
especially right now, the mess he made with his daughter Pia and
Yeah.
their Triforce thingy.
And this is largely told as a conventional fairy tale kind of a
Yes.
thing. You go to get the
Quest.
Wicked Witch, you know, the Wicked Witch is right in front of you, you don't recognize it, you know, kind of a thing. This book may be a little more ham-fisted, preachy, you know, Rick Remender.
Sure.
We're seeing his, you know, his time on a psychiatrist's couch in comic a little more. I'm still enjoying it.
Oh yeah,
But
I like it.
But this one's, yeah, I just think it's a little more ham-fisted as far as that goes. You know, kind of thing. We'll see what happens as far as the story goes in it. You know, he gets the thing he needed to get, and now he's got to decide whether or not he's really going to get away with it or not. And what is he going to sacrifice to do that?
Exactly.
So, yeah.
Yeah, considering what the witch's bargain is. Because
Yeah.
witches always have bargains.
Yeah. So, I mean, the book's fun. This whole arc has had lots of humor in it, way more than a
yeah.
lot of them have been. You know, clearly all the stuff, all the disaster with the body humor in the last issue, and then of course this
Exactly.
one with him and his horse. You know, he's stolen the king's horse, and the king's horse he kind of feels like is a bit of a dandy because he's scared of owls and you know all this different ridiculous stuff and whatnot. So had some funny parts in it too.
I know, which is nice because there's not a whole lot of, and by not a whole lot I mean no, funny, going on in low or well in
There's
certainly
some gross humor in Tokyo Ghost.
Sure, sure.
But it's
Typical like gross humor.
it's the kind of stuff you laugh at because it's horrible otherwise. So.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, Unfollow, issue number 10. Guest artist Ryan Kelly doing the art.
I like very much.
With same colors on it. Winter's still doing the colors. This is the other Williams book that we read this week.
And yeah,
It's pretty much mostly spent on this Russian island they're hidden off on. And we discover that they might be as much prisoners as they are
again,
right, as much prisoners as they are being kept safe. These Russian guys who are clearly some sort of mobsters themselves have figured out, if we keep these couple people alive, then and everybody else dies, they're worth billions.
yeah, and hey, we can just kill one of them, and then
If need be.
we have a bigger chunk of
Right.
the change.
Right. And we also get a little bit at Akira's commune, where Akira clearly is really completely fallen off the rails completely. He's locked himself away, trying to get to him, to get access to him, to come snap out of his thing, kind of stuff. And then the one thing that really, I mean, the story's interesting on its own as far as this whole survival kind of a thing, Lord of the Flies-esque-ness to it. You know, there's only so many of you, and as you whittle yourselves down, the person who's left gets a lot more money. That's an interesting story in its
Meanwhile,
own
back
right.
at the Crazy Ranch.
We also get this whole metaphysical thing going on. I mean, because in this issue, at one point, our Iranian camerawoman, who's one of the people on the Russian island, a guy, she's in a physical confrontation with this guy, and he suddenly looks like a bear.
Yep.
You know?
Like a
And
Russian bear.
right, but I mean, but kind of was, I don't think it was just metaphorically. Because there's also that damn jaguar that's hanging out
I know,
and chatting with him
talking
and stuff.
at the end.
So yeah, there's this kind of weird metaphysical stuff that I'm really enjoying because I just want to know what the hell it's about.
And then we also have what's going on the cover there, where
Oh, the mask.
the mask is
he
working
kills
his
3
way,
people.
working his way through
Yeah,
this,
he whacks off 3 more people in this
pretending
issue.
to be a journalist.
Which part of me wondered, is this book in trouble? And because it just felt like it was really fast to be suddenly
Yeah, pow, pow, pow.
that many people out, wiping that many people out right away. I'm told that's not the case though. This has been picked up as a TV show, and not, oh, it might be a TV show. They've already paid for like 12 shows to be written and stuff.
Cool.
So I think they're hoping it's gonna touch that same audience that watched Lost, for instance.
That makes sense.
But yeah, there's some crazy pants stuff in this. The Mask, when he shoots this one woman, she's dying, and it's like he goes to stick his finger in her bullet hole in her back, which is gross stuff it is. He actually peels it open and sticks his head in. Not like rip like you might actually do it.
He
but
says people are hollow, and they're drawn that way in this thing.
Yeah.
It's pretty.
I mean,
brilliant.
he literally
Yeah,
so he shoots this woman down.
Right, here's your typical size bullet hole.
Right. So he's going to poke his finger in the bullet holes that are there, and
Oh,
then you
yeah.
get it. Then you get it from the bullet hole, as he crawls into it, sticks his head in. Clearly, his head is way deeper in this body than what could possibly be on the floor. Like I said,
So once again, more of a metaphysical.
that's just crazy and really cool.
Yes.
And really cool. So, yeah, I really like the book. It's an interesting read all the way around. Next up, we have Art Ops. This is issue number 10 also.
Yep.
What'd you think?
I really like this book. I didn't like it that much at the very beginning. It was okay,
Mm-hmm.
but I really like it. It's unfortunate what's happening to,
Reginald?
no,
Reggie?
no,
Mona Lisa?
yes. What's happening to Mona is.
Yeah, Mona
is
Lisa's
unfortunate.
pregnant. And
Well, she was.
yeah, that's what I said, was pregnant.
Oh, I thought you said is.
No, I said was pregnant.
Yeah. Emphasis on was.
Yeah.
They gave her a surprise. This other group gave her a surprise C-section. Supposedly
The League of
versus-
Neighborhood Dads.
Yes, the dads.
Whose entire goal is to eliminate basically all art, because all art is
What is it? Promising stuff that isn't.
No,
what
no,
is it?
no,
It's
no.
not normal. What is it?
Oh crap! I can't think of the word I want to use. At any rate, they're eliminating all art because it's vulgar. But vulgar is the word I want to use. It's what's the word for corrupting people? Somebody
I
in
don't
internet
know.
land will
Sorry,
yell it out at
yeah,
me.
I'm not.
At any rate, so that's why they're getting rid of it. They're getting rid of all the art. They want to chase all the art down and get rid of all of it because it's, yeah.
The unfortunate thing about Mona is that A, she's losing a lot of paint, and B, her baby is half human, half art, and that's
Right.
like this ginormously huge thing they didn't even know could happen. So, I hope that the baby is alive and that they are able to recover it. That's kind of a big deal, and of course, Mom's back.
Well, yeah, because lo and behold, we find out that Mom and the whole crew, the whole actual official art ops people, have been sucked into the body without the body realizing it.
Right, and he upchucked them all on the red carpet,
Right.
which was a good thing to have done because, as it turned out, that's how they got out of their almost
Right.
prison-like movie contract.
Right. And the other part of it is, of course, to get the whole Reggie's dad wants to be back in his life kind of thing. That pretty typical sort of a story. I left you while you were a small child. Now I want to be back. And no, Dad, I don't really want you back. Kind of thing. That whole conflict.
And at the end, he joins the League of Neighborhood Dads.
Right.
Or he's trying to.
Right. Right.
That should be interesting.
Yeah. So, yeah, I'm enjoying it too. I think the book could be way more than what it is. I mean, I was kind of hoping that we get heavier, more philosophical into the whole idea of what is the value of art. Should we
Right.
have art and all that kind of stuff? It's like every once in a while, they're scraping the edges of it, or because I'm so interested in wanting to have that conversation and see that conversation played out someplace like this, that I think they're getting close to that and they don't. I don't know. So whereas I'm enjoying the book, I think it's fun. I don't know how much more legs it's actually got, but I'm enjoying it and it's fun. It could be this just
Well, sure. It could be more than just kind of a
amazing
fun romp through, with
this
art.
meaningless romp
Yeah.
through art.
It's fun, but it's not. I understand what you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if they will ever have anything like that to say, but I'm guessing, I'm feeling like not at this point, because
Right.
what 10 is using.
Right. Yeah. Cool. Anything else?
Nope.
Next up, we've got Baltimore Empty Graves, issue 5 of 5.
I don't really feel like anything was really I don't know.
So in a lot of these Baltimore little miniseries, is there a lot of resolution in
Not
them?
really. Not a lot of resolution. I don't look like we had. The first one, it sure seemed like it, but this one, not so much.
The first one?
The one with the first one that I remember reading, or the one that had the biggest impact on me at the beginning. The one with the vampire and the train and that.
Oh,
that
okay.
one.
Yeah, that was pretty huge because he thought he'd won part of it and then realized he hadn't, which is a lot of what this book is about. Him
Yes.
thinking he's on the cusp of finally ending all of this crap.
And then he doesn't hope that he can be done.
So then he can rest.
Yeah,
and be
'cause
done. Well, he's inhuman
undead.
now.
I mean, he's yeah.
Right.
Fine.
He doesn't have a heart anymore.
So,
But yeah, so no, I mean, this doesn't really have a whole lot more resolution than most of the others do, to be quite honest. It's more about the journey itself.
yes.
And I'm really liking the book because it's focused less on Baltimore himself. Baltimore has become less of the person and more of this force that's crashing through the 1912 to 1920, whatever this is, World War One-ish or right after World War One-ish. And there's other people that are kind of in his wake that get pulled into his wake along the way that have had their own experiences that kind of put them on this path too. Large
And I like those people.
Right, large portions of it now is that, and I'm enjoying that story. I'm enjoying the stuff about these different characters. We lose more people in this, more of the characters, more of these characters get mowed down, which I think is great because that means everybody's kind of fair game as far as there's no anything that's going to be so protected that that we know nothing's going to happen to it. With the exception of maybe Baltimore, maybe.
Right, because it's named after him. But then again, who knows?
Yeah. But they are closer. They've got more information. They know what they're looking for and what they shouldn't be looking for now.
Finally,
So then hopefully that means they can move forward for whatever the next thing is, which I will pick up and I will enjoy.
Sure.
Was this a brilliant piece of stuff? No, not as much as
it wasn't my favorite.
not as I mean it was good, not as much as some other stuff. I mean, I personally still like some of the one shots better than anything else. Like that one really early on where it's a 2-shot one. It's about a woman whose husband comes back, but not really, the whole thing. And then there's the haunted tank. There's a 2-shot story. Large portions of the art are done by Mignola, and it's just brilliant as far as that kind of stuff goes, as far as being a short little thing. But no, still enjoy it. Still really interested in the characters, the environment, and what all goes on in it. It's been pretty cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
Lady Killer, Volume 2, Issue number 1.
So a few changes. She's gone solo.
Well, we knew that.
Yeah.
That she was going to.
And she's moved.
She moved to Florida. They were in Seattle. They moved to Florida. She is her own businesswoman now, on her own, selling Tupperware. That's what we were talking about, right? Was her selling Tupperware?
Absolutely. Yep. Nothing to do with all the body parts in the Tupperware by the end of the evening.
That are in the trunk, left in the trunk of the car in the Florida heat.
I know, that's
Can you imagine how nasty that is?
I keep thinking she's going to abandon that car somewhere.
At any rate, so our assassin is back. She's clearly after the last volume, she's struck out on her own, and the story is kind of told. It's extremely violent, extremely violent. Jolene Jones is a violent thinking woman, and but this thing's kind of written dark comedy, kind of tongue-in-cheek
for sure.
as far as this is how you start a new business, and these are all the things you need to make sure you have in place to start a new business.
And you could read it. You could read it
without seeing the
looking
pictures.
at the pictures,
and
it would just sound like something.
It would sound like a
business
brochure.
book.
It would sound like a brochure or a business book, a how to start your own business. These are the things you need to have in place,
Yep.
and all this stuff, and it works really, really well. It works really well.
It's good.
The book is great also because if you haven't, for some crazy reason, already gone out and singles or purchased the trade of the first volume of Lady Killer, you could start here and not be lost.
Could. The only thing we'd have to know is that the mother-in-law saw something.
No, we know that though.
I guess really that's explained.
That gets explained in here because
Yeah.
she basically says, she goes. Josie goes. I know what you saw, but we need to put that behind us for the benefit of the family.
Yeah. Mother-in-law.
And you can kind of put together between what happens at the beginning of this book that clearly mother-in-law saw some of the business, in some sense.
Yes.
So.
Yeah, at first the mother-in-law thought she was having an affair, and that turned out to be not the case.
Right. Yeah. But anyway, so great stuff.
Oh my gosh, that other couple.
Yeah, right.
Didn't you just kind of wish that she would have some need to kill him especially?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
But it's the era. It's the
I
era.
know,
It's
but,
part of
oh, just a total sexist ass with nothing but off-color terrible
Yeah,
jokes.
yeah,
and,
yeah.
Yeah. Rule.
Yeah. Good stuff,
The
though.
fact that she doesn't stick a fork in his jugular just means that she has very, very good self-control comparison to, she hasn't been paid to do it, so.
Right. So, good stuff. We were speaking of exclusives with the other books we were talking about. Jolene Jones is exclusive with DC.
Yay! Wait a minute, that's not DC.
No, this is Dark Horse.
So is Joelle going to finish this?
She'll get to finish this. Yeah, anytime they sign exclusives like that. Anytime they sign exclusives like that, they get to finish
Will
out
she be
there.
able to continue doing more of it if she wants to?
Whenever her contract's up.
Okay, so maybe not.
Well, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what her personal contract is.
have-
All I know is that any work for hire that she's doing is going to be with DC and not anybody else.
Gotcha.
This isn't work for hire, per se.
Okay.
She owns some level of rights to this.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, I didn't have the opportunity to meet her like you did when we were at Comic-Con.
She was really cool.
And she sounds badass.
Yeah.
I really would hope to get to meet her at some point.
Yeah.
Because she sounds awesome.
So good for her. Good stuff.
Oh,
She's
yeah.
all writing it now. The last volume, she had help from Jimmy Rich, who is a editor of Vertigo now. Helped her with the first one. Clearly, she has her own writing chops, though. She didn't have.
She did fine.
Nothing against
It's
Jamie,
really-
but she didn't need to have
Oh,
Jamie.
I didn't see a letters column. Is there going to be a letters column?
I have no
Okay.
idea. I'd rather have pages of comics than letters column.
Oh, sure. But the letters column was fun.
It was fun because it was all answered by Josie.
Yes. Okay.
So, I don't know if she has time for that. And the final for this time around is Sheriff of Babylon, issue number 9.
Or stab you in the heart. Good stuff.
I don't think there's any heart stabbing in this,
Nothing in
but
this.
super smart book.
It is so good. And not in this particular issue, but
That's what we're
there's-
talking about.
Yeah.
Talking
Well,
about this
actually,
issue.
no, that's not true. Because when the police officer is saying, "Hey, you shot
Yeah.
his wife," and he's like, "No, that wasn't me. I did this other really cool, stupid thing." But so there's that when he's remembering her being shot. So that is kind of heart-rending. But yes,
You're stretching.
okay, fine.
We're talking about this issue.
And in this issue, the players get played.
I'm Jim from
It's
Ops. I'm Jim from Ops. That whole thing
Oh, I know.
drove me crazy because so this dude, they're standing on the side of the green zone. Guy shows up dressed in normal clothes and whatnot, introduces himself to everybody, knows who all of them are, and he's acting like he's everybody's best friend. I'm just Jim from Ops. You don't know who the hell he is. You don't know who he works for. Ops, whatever the F that is, right? Shakes hands with everybody, and that's kind of it, And then Chris, our policeman, he gets to go and where they're supposedly going to get to watch the takedown. Except he doesn't actually get to watch the takedown. He gets to sit in a waiting room that has a freaking Time Life magazine in it that has the infamous George Bush standing on the aircraft carrier with his thing saying, mission complete, even though...
And it says mission not accomplished. On
Right.
The end of it. Yes.
So, and is he going to draw his gun and shout that guy? So the guy, he ends up starting to have a conversation with the guy who was ultimately ends up kind of being responsible for getting our Iraqi policeman's wife killed. And he's like, oh, that wasn't me and whatnot. But we end up finding out that he is responsible. That the dead policeman that started this whole damn thing out, the Iraqi trainee,
Yep.
was this stupid guy's inside man, and never freaking bothered to say anything about it until now. And it shows there's this one panel, Chris at waist, and he's grabbing at his sidearm. So who knows what's going to happen there? Super smart comic, brilliantly drawn. I love the long panels where it's literally, just like in some of the other ones we've had these phone conversations, you get all these panels where it's just talking head, but it's so, to me it's daring, because most comics are afraid to do that.
To just talk.
And then to do it well. There's plenty of that in this too. We get these scenes where it's just the same, then by that no parking place kind of a thing. Just cool stuff.
Yes. With the kind of twisty ending that should be interesting.
Right, and you just, all these people, these characters, what are they about? I think Chris is probably the only good person here. And he's just kind of way in over his head. Everybody else has got these multiple agendas, I think. Sophia, I'm not sure if she's really out for the betterment of Iraq, if she's out for the betterment of herself, if she's out to really truly seek revenge for her family that just got absolutely wrecked by these people. I don't know. It's cool.
Yeah.
Really cool.
It's just a really good book, for sure. And yeah. And how they think something's going to happen is, once again, not how it's going to happen.
Yeah, the whole thing at the very end is
So now, who knows what they're
Cliffhanger
gonna do,
City, see what
they're
that's
gonna
gonna-
do. Yeah. Good book.
And if it goes pear-shaped, how is it really going to pear-shaped? And who might pay the consequences of that going
Yeah,
pear-shaped?
considering who's in the room with the,
Yeah.
it's, yeah. And I don't know how they would expect something like that not to happen. You know, I mean, considering where
Well,
they are.
But the U.S., the ops people don't care.
This is true.
Everybody that's in that room is expendable, right?
As far as they're concerned.
Yeah.
But certainly not as far as Chris is concerned.
Yeah.
And not.
Well, Chris doesn't know that's even going on.
I know, and not as far as we, the audience members, are concerned either. At least not for me. I like those characters.
Yeah,
am
despite
interested
their
in those characters.
shady pasts.
I don't. It's not that I don't care. It's just that I think that they both. Well, they're complex people.
Sure.
They're people.
Right. That's what makes the book so good.
Exactly.
Is they are incredibly
There's-
depthy.
Yeah, there's no one side person, and
Right.
it's awesome. So yeah, it's a really good book, like we keep saying. And
Yeah.
if you haven't read it, you should.
Pick up the first trade. It's out. Came out this week or last week or something like that. Get it. Good stuff. Anything else?
No, we're done.
Thanks for watching.
Yeah,
Maybe
thanks
see you
a
next
lot.
week.
Bye.